Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into the special episode part 1 of ABO Desire the series, an emotional and powerful continuation that shifts its focus to the families that were built after all the pain, the love, and the sacrifices. This special episode opens a new chapter in the intertwined lives of Sheng Xiaoyu and Huang, now navigating the challenges of parenthood, and it also brings back the long-buried emotions between Gao Tu and Shen Wenlang. It's not just a continuation, it's a healing story that closes the loop for many of our favorite characters. Let's go through this episode in one continuous story, told from the heart. When Peanut was born, everything changed. The household was thrown into chaos, filled with both fear and excitement. Huang and Sheng Xiaoyu had always dreamed of having a child, but the path was far from easy. From the very beginning, there were complications. Sheng Xiaoyu, though an alpha, was born with a very thin reproductive cavity, a rare and dangerous condition. Doctors warned them early on that even with care, pregnancy could be risky. Yet Huang, driven by love and hope, followed every medical instruction with strict dedication. Every day, he helped stabilize Xiaoyu's condition, marking him regularly, ensuring his pheromones were balanced, and strengthening his body through intimate connection and trust. But no matter how careful they were, destiny had other plans. Their child, little Peanut, was impatient to see the world, born nearly a month earlier than expected. The day began as an ordinary morning. Sheng Xiaoyu, ever the professional, went to work as usual. Despite being heavily pregnant, he still handled his company affairs personally. Huang, of course, couldn't stop worrying. He had even arranged for a group of doctors to wait at the office entrance, just in case something went wrong. Then it happened. During a morning meeting, as Xiaoyu listened to his team's research report, he suddenly felt warmth spreading between his legs. At first, he didn't think much of it, just a slight discomfort. But when the feeling grew colder and wetter, he realized something was wrong. Before he could even call for help, Huang burst through the door, his face pale and panicked. The detector on Xiaoyu's wrist, a device Huang had insisted on him wearing, was flashing red. His water had broken. In an instant, the room that had been filled with calm discussion turned into chaos. The medical team moved quickly, helping Xiaoyu lie down, raising his hips with a soft pillow to prevent the umbilical cord from slipping. The contractions came hard and fast. Within minutes, Xiaoyu was drenched in sweat, unable to speak from the pain. Huang, who had always been the composed and confident enigma, was now trembling as he held his partner's hand, helplessly watching him suffer. Unlike omegas, alphas don't have natural birth canals. That meant there was no option for natural delivery. The team rushed him to the hospital, sirens blaring through the city streets. Inside the ambulance, Xiaoyu struggled to stay conscious, his fingers clutching Huang's. Huang whispered words of comfort, his voice breaking each time Xiaoyu cried out in pain. At the hospital, the operating room was ready. Huang refused to leave Xiaoyu's side, following him into the delivery room. As the anesthetic took effect, Xiaoyu's eyes fluttered, and before losing consciousness, he felt Huang's trembling lips press against his forehead. There was a soft sob, almost like a prayer. The last thing he heard before the world went dark was Huang's voice whispering his name. Hours later, when Xiaoyu finally opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was Huang cradling a tiny baby wrapped in blue cloth. His eyes were swollen from crying, but there was a light in them that Xiaoyu had never seen before. Huang looked at him and smiled. "He's perfect," he said softly. And for the first time in a long time, Xiaoyu felt at peace. Peanut's arrival became a turning point. The baby was small but healthy, with Xiaoyu's sharp eyes and Huang's smile. Everyone adored him. To the world, he was born into a family of power and prestige, but to his parents, he was simply a miracle. Peanut grew surrounded by love and attention. He had Huang, the devoted father who spoiled him endlessly, and Xiaoyu, the protective alpha parent who balanced strictness with warmth. But Peanut also had a godfather, an alpha who was both mysterious and deeply connected to the family's past. That godfather was Shen Wenlang. Peanut often heard stories that his parents' happy ending was partly thanks to Shen Wenlang's selfless help. But behind that story was a secret, one that Peanut didn't fully understand. Shen Wenlang had once taken someone dear to the family, Gao Tu, far away to country P. That complicated bond between them was where another story began. Years before Peanut's birth, Shen Wenlang and Gao Tu had shared a love that was never meant to be simple. The episode shifts focus here, taking us back to their unresolved history. Shen Wenlang had been searching for Gao Tu for months. He had turned every corner, called in every favor, until finally he got a lead, a temporary residence Gao Tu was rumored to be staying in. When he arrived, however, he didn't find the person he wanted. Instead, he met Gao King, Gao Tu's younger sister. Gao King stood at the door, her expression cold. "My brother doesn't live with me," she said quickly. Shen Wenlang didn't believe her. He could smell the faint trace of sage pheromones lingering in the air. Gao Tu's scent. His heart clenched. He knew he was close. "Where is he?" Wenlang demanded. Gao King's eyes narrowed. "Haven't you hurt him enough?" Her voice was sharp, cutting through the night air. "If you don't want me to call the police again, don't come back. My brother has someone else now. He doesn't want to see you anymore." But Shen Wenlang refused to accept it. He knew Gao Tu better than anyone. "That's impossible," he whispered. "He's still carrying my child." He couldn't believe that Gao Tu would ever turn away from him while pregnant. Omegas needed their alpha's pheromones during pregnancy. It was their body's instinct to seek comfort and protection. The thought that Gao Tu would hide himself made no sense. Unless someone was forcing him to. "Did you tell him I came looking for him?" Shen Wenlang pressed. "Of course I did," Gao King snapped. "He said he never wants to see you again." Her words hit him like a blade. Shen Wenlang froze, the weight of guilt and confusion mixing in his chest. He could only mutter, "This is impossible," before turning away, defeated. But that night, he couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. Gao Tu was out there, hurt, hiding, and alone. Wenlang couldn't let go, so he came back, under the cover of darkness, standing once again before that same door. The special episode ends there, quiet, but filled with tension. Two love stories standing side by side, one that has found healing through the birth of a child, and another trapped in the pain of misunderstanding and distance. Sheng Xiaoyu and Hui Yong's family represents how love, even through fear and difficulty, can create new life. Meanwhile, Shen Wenlang and Gao Tu's story reminds us that unresolved love always finds a way to resurface, no matter how far apart people drift. In this special, we see how the world of ABO Desire the series continues to evolve. It's not just about passion or dominance anymore, it's about growth, vulnerability, and redemption. And as the screen fades to black, one question remains in our minds: will Shen Wenlang ever find Gao Tu again, and will they ever get the chance to heal what was broken?